All right, ladies and gentlemen, we felt this is something that Darren and I do often, and we do it with some other people that are included in here. What we do is we just share videos amongst ourselves. Obviously, this is nothing new. Many people do it, but we figured it would be fun to give some reactions to some videos that we share. Some of them are just plain stupid and silly, but then some of them are pretty angering and infuriating
and stupid.
And so we have all that for you. So we're gonna react to some videos for you, and give some mini commentary on some of those things. And guys, join us on YouTube. Find our YouTube. The link is in the bio. Let's start something light. So Darren sent me this. I don't know how many of you all were R&B fans in the 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah.
If you were R&B fans in the 90s and early 2000s, then you know the name Genuine. Even if you were not an R&B fan in the 90s and early 2000s, but you were a Parks and Recs fan, then Genuine is the one they brought out. It was what's her name? Well, let's just watch it. Let's just watch it. Oh my.
That's a rough one. You couldn't can't do it like you used to. He needs to quit. Gotta retire, man. It's over.
Look, so people make fun of old age all the time.
Yeah.
The thing is this. People make fun of stuff like receding hairline. Look, my hairline's receding.
Right.
It's like that. You get chunkier, you get older. You're getting fat, stuff like that. Genuine was trying to do stuff that people at the age of his prime weren't able to do.
Right.
And he's trying to do it now.
He's trying to do it 51.
At 51.
Yeah.
And he looked like a skeleton.
Yeah.
I mean, there was nothing even close to what he was.
The face matched. He was making the face.
Yeah.
But his body wasn't doing it. So now we have, if you're alive today and you've seen anything, right now, abortion is the thing that we're supposed to fight in favor of.
Fight for.
Right. We're supposed to fight.
We're supposed to fight for abortion.
So that women can abort babies.
Yeah. Here's a video on abortion.
This is senator of, was he New Jersey?
Cory Booker.
Is he a New Jersey senator, or he's a senator out of New Jersey, I believe. Cory Booker.
Yeah. Feminists fight back. Resist. How is this not talked about
Stop
up there
the
with
war
like
on women?
January 6th stuff? I mean, we'll get to that though. I bet we'll get to that. But let me just play it. Darren, you got our audio.
Yeah.
The storm beaches in Normandy, that was not our time. We may not be called to stand with Sojourner Truth and utter those words, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Those were not our days, but today is our day. We are now called. History is now calling upon us to stand in this moral moment and to tell this nation, we have come a mighty long way, but we got a long way to go. The country needs you. This is our generation's great moral moment.
You heard some buffoonery in that. I think the main thing that stuck out to me was the fact that he didn't know that Sojourner Truth didn't say I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired.
No.
It's Fannie Lou Hamer.
I mean, he also knew that they didn't know. I mean, that's why.
I know, so he gets to just say it.
Just say that
he just gets to just say it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what did you say before? What did you?
I mean, I was just saying that at these little pro-abortion rallies, they don't call them that. First of all, they call them healthcare rallies or women's rights rallies. That's why all the signs don't say anything about abortion. They just say, resist, and, believe women and trust women and stop the war on women. Which they have no idea how much they're perpetuating the war on women.
The war on women. It's a war on women.
Women are the only ones hurt the most by this.
Margaret Sanger highlighted two people groups in order to promulgate her desire of ridding the earth of weaklings. She enlisted women to do her bidding and she enlisted Black Americans, more specifically preachers.
Yeah.
Oh, that I saw your comment, Novella.
It says preach like your lives depend on it. Or preach like lives depend on it.
Preach like lives depend on it. A lot of people preach to get likes. A lot of people preach to get amens, and that was very good at the end of it. This actually came from the worship leader of the pastor, William McDowell.
Yeah.
We went to a worship conference, and the worship leader, Trinity Anderson, Trinity Anderson, had this merch, and so I supported her in that. But it's very true. That's what's entrusted to you as a pastor and preacher, to preach like lives depend on it, like souls depend on it.
Yeah.
What's the next thing?
The next video?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Moving on.
Oh, wait. Were we done with that? Anything else?
So much,
there's a lot
there. He talked about storming.
Oh, yeah. He likened fighting for abortion to storming the beaches of Normandy. Something that men we knew growing up did.
Yeah.
We had a man in our church. We never appreciated.
I know.
Those men. It's not we were mean to them. We just didn't appreciate the wisdom that was around us. But we had a survivor of D-Day in our church.
I think he was 17.
That's just wild to think about. It's wild to think about. And then not only that, the fact that he went through that on D-Day, but whatever he was living with as well for the rest of his time.
I never saw him upset or
never
without joy or
never. Schmitty, that's what y'all. Hey, Schmitty.
But yeah, what we're talking about is men, boys, and men who died so that we could have freedoms. Fighting wars that weren't made up, fighting wars that had to be had, so that we could maintain freedom from other countries and fight for other people's freedoms in other countries.
I wonder if Mr. Booker was on the bandwagon of saying that 17 or 18 years old is too young to have a gun.
He certainly is.
Because
he's in New Jersey.
He seems to be okay with storming the beaches of Normandy with teenagers.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. And that kind of freedom we celebrate, all for women to have the freedom to kill their children. I don't think that was it.
No.
I don't think that was it. Those men that stormed the beaches of Normandy would storm another country if they found out that they were killing their children. Mass genocide by the millions a year.
Yeah.
So this next one is another senator, another pro-abortion senator. Once again, you'll notice he doesn't mention abortion.
No.
There's just this assumed outrage.
Yeah.
That we're supposed to be mad about.
Yeah.
You won't know what hit you if you go forward with these awful decisions. I want to tell you, Gorsuch. I want to tell you, Kavanaugh. You have released the whirlwind, and you will pay the price. You won't know what hit you if you go forward with these awful decisions.
I don't even know where to start. Because I feel like someone was beating us into submission to feel like what happened on January 6th.
Yeah.
And they said this explicitly, was literally the worst thing that happened in this country ever.
And I think I've said this before, but I'll say it again. I don't know if this is moral. I don't even know, but I'll just say it because this is what I think, and I think it's true-ish. January 6th, what happened, I think it was a terrible plan.
Mm-hmm.
But if the people in the government have a contract and the government breaches that contract, the people think they breached that contract, and maybe they didn't, but the people think they do, the people should go after the government. I think our country is set up that way.
Yeah.
That's why we have guns. That's why we are the people. We run the country. The government doesn't. So we should go after people in the government.
Right.
But what we have here in this video is a senator threatening a justice, which, if you don't know, in the three branches of government which is gone, the judicial branch of government is separate from every other branch of government on purpose.
Yeah.
Their job is to judge whether or not the laws that senators pass to them are constitutional. That's it. They're not supposed to have any bias or any side or any conservative, liberal. I'm moderate. I'm libertarian. Or I'm a black lesbian trans. Or I'm this. None of that should matter.
Right.
Because what we're talking about is the truth. That's it. What is true about our Constitution? So now you have a senator threatening a Supreme Court justice to say, hey, if you pass this, then you're not going to know what hit you. What is that? That has to be treason.
Yeah.
Or at least if Donald Trump incited violence, I don't know what that is.
Right. That's exactly
That's
right.
that's a call to violence.
And another tidbit, maybe you've heard it already, but there was a man with a gun outside of Justice Kavanaugh's house who told us outright his desire was to kill him.
Yeah, he wanted to kill him. Yeah.
After January 6th, there wasn't a conservative in the country that was watching January 6th and saying, "Oh, I think this is quite lovely, actually."
Right, yeah, I know.
I absolutely love seeing this. This is incredible. I love the reason why they're there. I'm
Right.
just in a great mood.
Yeah.
No one was doing that.
Even the people that we talked to that were there were like confused.
Yeah, right.
They didn't even know what was going on.
Right. Not to mention, this keeps getting blamed on not only conservatives, but it also gets blamed on like white evangelicals.
I
I don't know
what they did.
Oh, that's what we forgot to mention.
What?
Cory Booker and other people on the left, why do they liken or try to conflate every aspect of their agenda with the civil rights movement?
Yeah. It's all race.
Why is fighting for abortion something that has to be relatable to black women? Because Margaret Sanger wanted to get them up out of here.
Yeah, that was the point.
Margaret Sanger wanted to get the black women up out of here.
Yeah. That was it.
That's why Planned Parenthood, especially in the beginning and still now, were found in impoverished neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Margaret Sanger?
No.
Can we talk about how she and her plan has succeeded far more than Hitler, Stalin, Mussolini, and Mao, and still continues to be planned right now? And then this bald-headed Mr. Shine dude is out here promulgating that plan still? Can you imagine if Hitler's grandson was out there marching and saluting people? Yeah, they tried to stop us before in the 40s, but we coming back, baby. Let's get these Jews.
Mm-hmm.
But here we are still.
What's that? A lot of people know that by now. A lot of people know about Margaret Sanger by now. They just don't care because this is women's rights.
This dude was literally inciting people to be angry of the violent type at Justice Kavanaugh. He threatened him, said he doesn't know what's coming for him. And it just so happens that someone tried to assassinate him. And we're not confused about that because the guy said
that's what he wanted
right?
to do.
That's what he wanted to assassinate him.
Yeah.
Okay. And what we're about to listen to is more just blatant lies. And I think that the conversation on guns is a very careless conversation that people have had. I always say my desire isn't for people to change their mind about guns. You can absolutely hate guns, but your hatred towards guns should be just as valuable as your hatred towards burgers.
Yeah, don't eat one.
Don't eat one. I don't think you should eat one. As a matter of fact, I would fight for your ability not to eat a burger if you didn't want to. I think that that's good.
Yep.
I start to have a problem when I'm at Five Guys and you're running up on me, slapping my bacon cheeseburger out my mouth.
That's right. And that's the same with the animal people, man. You remember when people walk out with animal coats and people throwing paint on them? That's assault, man.
It is assault.
We're fighting.
It's battery.
Yeah.
So our favorite gaffe machine of a president, Joe Biden, just said this.
He said a 22 caliber bullet will lodge in a lung, and we can probably get it out, may be able to get it and save the life. A 9mm bullet blows the lung out of the body. So the idea of these high caliber weapons is there's simply no rational basis for it in terms of what this is about self-protection, hunting. I mean, remember, the Constitution.
All right. Now, it was loud because he was out there near his helicopter. Darren, give him a recap of what the heck he just said.
So Joe Biden's basically said that, a 22 caliber round, which if you don't know, AR-15s shoot 22 caliber rounds. A 22 caliber round, if someone is shot with it, you can go in and get that bullet out, with surgery and probably save their lives. But a 9mm, it blows the lung out of the body. What has this all been about? First, the AR-15 is the most deadly gun in the world, and no civilian should ever need it. Now, a 9mm, I guarantee you his people behind him are carrying 9mm.
Yeah.
That's the most common round used besides a 22.
Right. Now, here's the thing. They're like what Darren pointed out with Cory Booker in attributing "I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired" to Sojourner Truth, which it was Fannie Lou Hamer who said that. They can be stupid because they know they won't be held accountable.
Right.
They can lie, or they can be ignorant. I'm not going to say that Cory Booker was lying. He doesn't gain anything by lying about Sojourner Truth saying that. He's just ignorant.
Yeah.
He's ignorant. He lacks that understanding.
Well, he does gain something. He does. Why would he say Sojourner Truth? Because people would know her. It's a black lady, and he's all civil rightsy, and he's trying to pander still. I mean, they're all pandering.
And people wouldn't know Fannie Lou Hamer.
And they wouldn't care. They wouldn't care. You can say Sojourner Truth. He's a clown. He does it all the time. He always, when I was little, my grandmother told me, like, he always does that.
Yeah.
It's like he always got some kind of anecdote.
I know. Grandmama always said, "Better eat your green beans for your green beans eat you."
Like,
your grandmother ain't say that, boy.
What are you talking
Come on, boy,
about?
boy. You're man.
Cory Booker always does that.
So Joe Biden,
yeah,
what he just said is that a 9mm round can blow your lung out
of your body.
Guys, like I said, you don't need to change your mind about guns, but you at least need to know about them in order to have an opinion. And one thing you should know is that many people have gotten hurt or killed after having shot someone with 9mm.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't 50 Cent get famous off of being shot how many times? 9
times or something like that.
Yeah. These like this people, he's using language like we're in a movie or something.
Yeah. 9mm is not a high impact round.
No,
it's not. It's which is why it's affordable.
Once upon a time,
yeah, more affordable than say 45 or a rifle round like 308 or 50 BMG. Like people don't carry those around because they're number one, they're too heavy. You can't carry as many. And the idea of self-defense, if we can get real, an idea of self-defense is to shoot someone as much as you can. And a 9mm allows you to do that.
Yeah.
Because you can carry more of it. A 45, you can't carry as many, so you can't shoot them as many times. I'm talking about as self-defense.
And what's sinister about this, obviously what's attached to the sinister nature of it is we have government officials trying to dissuade people from being able to arm themselves against the government. That's quite sinister. But now what they're doing is they are creating slanderers and scoffers of individuals who like the idea of being able to defend themselves.
Yeah.
I think we've talked about this before.
Once again, who's hurt the most?
Who's hurt the most?
Women.
Vulnerable. Vulnerable. They're left out of the conversation. See, obviously, guns are fun to me.
Yeah.
Darren is more of the gun nut between us. We both love the idea of self-defense, but there are people who are genuine gun nuts and just like guns, and they should be able to do whatever they want with as many as they want. What's against the law is infringing on someone else's pursuit of life, liberty, and happiness.
Right.
That's criminal act. It's always been a criminal act. But this idea of turning citizens against one another so that the citizens do their bidding.
Yeah.
And then the government comes and cleans up for us.
I'll fix this.
So what Darren just pointed out in this gun conversation, the people who are used the most for political gain are Black Americans or people who live in impoverished cities and women.
Yeah.
And so you got the whole defund the police, you got stuff going on. Everything that gets left out of the conversation is meant to be in the conversation about gun ownership.
Right.
You go to gun law country,
Mm-hmm.
California, Baltimore, Chicago, Detroit, New York. There's crime crazy.
Yeah. Gun crime.
Gun crime.
They got guns, man.
And there are people who live there who feel defenseless.
Mm-hmm.
Forget gun crime. You have women. Let's adopt the rape culture narrative.
Right.
I don't like that language, but obviously women get raped.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously.
Attacked.
At least mugged. Yeah. They get followed and things like that. And there are women who actually like the idea of being able to defend themselves. But no, let's fight for their healthcare rights to be able to kill babies, and let's demonize them and slander and scoff at them when they would like to defend themselves.
Yeah, one of the telltale signs is that, are they doing what they are saying? Are they practicing exactly what they're saying?
Never.
He's surrounded by guards that carry guns. But he's telling you, hey, you aren't valuable enough to protect yourself. I am, because I'm the president.
That's exactly right.
You are not. And also, I mean, none of it makes sense. You know, the AR-15, everyone, all the conservatives and gun people were like, why are they going after the AR-15?
Yeah.
It's used the least in any gun crime. Out of all rifles, it's used the absolute least. First of all, rifles are used very little.
Very little.
And then an AR-15 is a subset of that is used even less. Less than like 2% of gun crime is with AR-15. But obviously, an AR-15 is a very popular rifle that anyone can handle. Children, women, men. It carries a lot of rounds, and it's efficient. So that's why our government wouldn't want us to use it.
Right.
Now the 9mm. Why that? Oh, because the 9mm is the most affordable and most popular round in America. That's why. It doesn't make sense to say, oh, all of a sudden pivot from AR-15.
And why is he making this comment after somebody in another country bans it?
Right, exactly. Canada. Yeah. And we just sent $40 billion to Ukraine so they can get weapons.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, here, we shouldn't have them.
So, look, I would say this, and I think we should encourage one another to do these things. Disagree all you want, right? Let's continue those conversations as citizens. Let's disagree. But for goodness sake, and for the sake of freedom in this country, do not do the government's bidding. Because whether or not you hate people on the right, when tyranny truly is culminated, you don't matter.
Nah.
You won't matter.
It doesn't discriminate.
As a matter of fact, the people you hate the most are probably going to be the safest people to be around.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to sound dystopian, but I think that we are very naive when it comes to the freedoms we've enjoyed in this country. We're so naive that we're willing to toss freedoms away.
Yeah.
We're willing to give them away. We're going to talk about more of that because we're going to talk about Matt Walsh's What is a Woman? And we are so bored with privilege and freedom in this country that we cast away reality.
Yeah.
And it shows in that documentary.
Y'all here making stuff. Don't listen to these people.
No.
These politicians don't love God.
Yeah.
Which means they don't know the truth.
Yeah.
They can't.
He's a person.
Yeah.
He's a person. And when it comes down to something social and political like guns and gun ownership, I think you should be genuine. Be genuine and ask questions and ask them to gun owners.
Right. Yeah.
I think one of the most misunderstood aspects of gun ownership is the steps it takes to be able to own a gun in this country, especially in places like here in Maryland.
Right.
There's a lot of work you got to do.
Yeah.
You don't get to walk into a store and pick up something and then go. And then actually that might be the second most misunderstood. The first most misunderstood thing would be how many guns exist in this country?
Right. Yeah.
There's hundreds of millions. I'm not making that up.
There's more guns than people.
There's more guns in this country than people.
Almost twice the amount of guns than people.
There's more guns than people. And some of the homes that we know have more guns than people.
Mm-hmm.
And just take millions of people who do that.
Right.
And so the tragedies of gun crime and the tragedies of mass murders, which those two are both tragedies, but our news media will only highlight one of those things.
Yeah.
They're actually very disproportionate when it comes to the amount of crime, the potential crime that could be happening with guns.
Yeah. If guns were the real
Very.
issue, then we'd be out here
Yeah,
all dead.
all day.
They wouldn't have to make us get abortions.
Yeah.
We'd be killing each other anyway.
People are saying that they don't want it to be the wild, wild west. I promise you, the guns that exist in this country are closer to some Star Wars film than it is the wild, wild west.
Yeah.
We have far surpassed the Wild West.
Yeah.
When it comes to the amount of guns that exist in this country.
Right.
Don't listen to these guys. Hey, good night.
Yeah.